Well, hello, my name is Tracy Slepcevic, and I am the president and founder of Autism Health and the Autism Health Summit. I have with me Tammy Arthur, and she is with the Wellness Blanket. And we met at my previous conference. She was one of our sponsors, and I decided to do a video so that we can share her information and the success stories of a lot of our families who have used the wellness blanket. So first, Tammy, I just want to ask you, how did the wellness blanket come to be?
Yes. If I go back a little bit, I am a former elementary teacher, and that was really a lot of fun. Just spending time with children, and especially with special needs children. I really enjoyed that. But I've always really kind of spent a lot of time, especially in the summers, just digging deep into natural health. And so one summer, it's been about 11 years ago, I went to a school in northern Indiana where I'm from called Trinity Natural School of Health. And I took classes that summer to get a CNHP certificate, which was a lot of fun. And during that time, I met a naturopath doctor, Dr. Elena, went to see her as a patient. And at the end of that 30-minute period of time with her, she wraps me in this blanket. And it wasn't, I mean, just a few minutes, and I could just feel really calm and just very restful. And I knew there was something happening with this blanket. So I went to visit her again about 6 months later. Same thing. She wraps me in this blanket. And I thought, okay, I have to have this at home. I want to be able to sleep in this. I can tell, this is doing something really great for my body. So we start talking about it. And she tells me that this is a Russian invention. So the more I look into it, I realized back in the 1960s in Russia, this is when this whole thing started, but it started with the cosmonauts. And so they're in their spacesuits, and the doctors are checking their vitals and organs like they typically would. And they realize the longer they're in their spacesuits, the healthier they are. And they can't understand what's going on. So they have the scientists take apart the spacesuit. When they do, they realize the whole suit is lined with these energy reflecting materials. And so they keep investigating this, and they find out what's really happening because they're totally engulfed in their spacesuit like we would be in our blanket. Their good, strong energies or meridians are bouncing back, kind of like a gentle infrared sauna. So these energies are bouncing back like a mirror, and the body is healing itself. And while this is happening, the pH is balancing, and the immune system kicks in, and it puts the body into parasympathetic so the body can heal. So once I understood what it was doing, I spoke with a Russian gentleman who made the blankets at that time. This was like 11 years ago. And I just wanted to get blankets for my family. I'd already seen it help my son-in-law who had severe back pain. And my granddaughter, she had never been sick until she was about 13 months old. And she picked up hand, foot, and mouth disease and just, didn't feel well, was crying. But when we'd wrap her in the blanket, she would just stop crying. So, this was something I wanted for my family. So when I spoke with him, he said, I have no one in the United States to help me get this blanket out to the masses. Would you be willing to help me? And I thought, yeah, I love this blanket. It's making a difference for me, for my family. So that's kind of how it started. That was about 11 years ago. And, um, and then since then, I have just seen it help so many, people with different kinds of issues. I guess to go back a little bit, just as simple as about 6 years ago, I had shared a blanket with my mom, and she was so excited about it. But about 3 months later, she calls me one morning and she said, "Oh, I woke up with this terrible cold and cough. And I just know by tomorrow I'll have bronchitis because that's kind of what happens with her." And then she's sick for a couple of weeks. And I said, "Mom, have you been using the wellness blanket, sleeping in it, wrapping in it at night?" And she said, "Oh, no, I'm saving that for someone who's really sick." And I said, "Oh, Mom, I gave that to you because I wanted you to be in it, every night." And I always recommend putting your wellness blanket, in like a cotton or linen duvet to protect it. And so I asked her, did you have your duvet? Oh, yes, she had it washed, ready to go. So, anyways, that night she puts her blanket in her duvet and she lays the blanket out on the bed, lays down on one side, pulls the other side over her, kind of like a sleeping bag, and she sleeps in it all night. So she calls me the next morning and she cannot believe, she's ecstatic. She said, all those symptoms, the cough, the cold, she just felt so bad. She said, it's all gone. So I explained to her how when we're wrapped in the blanket, our pH starts to balance and the body just starts to heal itself. And I just think about, like when God created Adam and Eve, he created them with a balanced pH. They weren't acidic. They didn't have, the issues that we have in our world today, but, created them with that balanced pH. And that's how the body heals itself. And that's how we keep our bodies healthy. So that's kind of how the blanket started for me. And then about a year and a half ago, I actually met a really special doctor, Dr. Tenpenny, and she wrapped in the blanket for the first time. And she had had a hip pain for over a year. And in about 20 minutes, her pain was gone. And I saw her a couple weeks ago, and she said, my pain has never come back. And then she started sleeping, even from the very first night. She said, I sleep better than I have since I was a young woman. So she's actually done some sleep studies for me. And she had gone on an overnight speaking engagement, and she didn't take her blanket that time with her. So she was awake every hour and exhausted when she got up that next morning. But she had tested her sleep that night without the blanket. And the next evening when she was at home, she tested her sleep with the blanket. And so she has sent me slides, and it's just amazing to see the difference without the blanket and with the blanket. So now when she travels, you'll see her. I actually got to join her a couple weeks ago in Rhode Island for a conference. She comes in from her Uber with two large suitcases, one for her blanket and one for her clothes, so that, she can sleep deeply.
That's awesome. So since I met you, I'm like seeing
Yeah.
you everywhere, and
Yes.
you're quite the hit at our
Uh,
conference, and you're also quite the hit with a lot of our parents and my board members. So
oh,
all of them jumped on the wellness blanket bandwagon.
yes.
Um, so you've explained a little bit about how it promotes health,
Hmm.
wellness. What about some stories that you've heard? I mean, I know my stories from my parents and board members of, you had Jesselyn crying at the
Yes.
conference when you wrapped her in it. And
Yeah.
she has four children on the spectrum.
Yes.
So I know she's a mama that's overwhelmed and has a lot going on. So explain
Yes.
how that happens.
Yeah, she's very special. Got to meet her that first day at your event, and she took a blanket home with her that night. She came back the next morning, came right over to my booth, big smile on her face, and she said that she had wrapped that night with her little 4-year-old boy. And she said typically he can even claw her face at night. It's not a restful sleep for her or for him. But they wrapped together in the blanket and they both slept all night. And she has one of the Aura rings, so she tracks her sleep. She said it had never been above a 70 before, and it was a 92 that night. So, that was huge. And then the next morning, she gets up to get ready for the event. And her little boy, he's very active and he usually, just gets right up with her and starts, going. And but she took a picture of him. I actually put it on my website. It's so, so precious. He's wrapped in the blanket and he has this smile on his face and he doesn't want to get out of it. And she said he laid there for like 35 minutes. So, I mean, that was just amazing that, she had 35
Which
minutes to,
is unreal for her boys.
yeah, yeah, to have,
Because
yeah,
they're usually climbing the walls.
that's what she said. So that was awesome. Awesome. And then she said, she's got the blanket now. And I think from what she told me is she's got all four children sleeping under the blanket and they're sleeping now. So I mean, I just think it's so amazing. I learned so much at that conference just about, the families that were there and their life and just, their daily struggles. But I thought, it really was impressed upon me. The parents, they need their rest. They need good sleep, in order to deal with I mean, I know you know, the same thing for you, but you know, we've all got to have good sleep, but
No
especially as
doubt.
parents. Yeah, especially those. I wrapped a man that day, a father of an autistic child, and he told me that he has not gotten more than 4 hours of sleep in many years he can't even remember. So, you know, it's just so important that not only the children are sleeping, but the parents are sleeping. And, you know, when the children are wrapped in um, the blanket helps to pull out the inflammation. And I know they have inflammation in their brain and in their gut. So when that's happening and it's calming them, and they're resting, you know, it's a whole different world. Another really sweet lady that I met there her name is Haley. I think she might be on one of your boards. I'm not sure, but anyways, Haley was telling me about her son. She just took the smaller travel blanket home with her, and they took it to the therapist, the MNRI therapist. Rebecca is her name, and she sent me all kinds of pictures. But she told Haley that she was able to get in 30 minutes with her son, and normally what it would take 8 hours to get that deep, you know, with the therapy that she was doing with him. So that was huge. And then Rebecca took it home. She has restless legs, and even the first night she slept. So she's using it now with her other patients, and that's really been a blessing to see that.
I know Jackie, who's one of my board members, came to visit me and she's like, I don't need
Yes.
my blanket.
Yeah.
I'm like, here, use mine.
Yeah.
So she sandwiched herself in it because it's a king size.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and she loves it. But yeah, Haley is actually, she's one of our vendors. She's with
Oh,
BSRF. So
yes.
she has a lot going on.
Yeah.
But most of our parents do. So tell me what your experience of the conference was. I haven't even asked you.
Oh, it was amazing. I got to meet, I think, almost all of the vendors. I got to meet Dawn with Spellers, which was amazing. Got to chat with her, and I know she took a couple
You
blank.
even wrapped Del Bigtree. You got him to sit
Yes,
down for
Del
5 minutes
Bigtree,
to wrapping a
and
blanket.
he has a blanket. His wife is loving it. I saw him in Texas after your conference, and he said, "Right now, my wife is in that blanket at home, and she's loving it because it's, you know." I guess the other thing I didn't share, when you're in the blanket, kind of cocooned, or you can use it like a sleeping bag. That's a little easier to sleep that way. But when you're in that blanket, it's like your body is immune to the outside interferences, the EMFs like 5G. And I mean, I have so many people now who can't sleep, and I think much of it is to do with 5G. And you know, I have a friend that I met a couple years ago. In fact, she's a naturopath doctor. She did not sleep for 8 months when they turned on a 5G tower in her neighborhood. Her body vibrated so hard. And then
Yeah.
that first night in the blanket, she called me the next morning and she said, I slept. She said it brought down the vibrations to where I could hardly even feel them. So it's really amazing, you know. And I tell people it's like turn off your cell phone, you know, turn off your Wi-Fi. We even have our bedrooms such that we can turn off our electricity, but you can't keep 5G from coming in. The satellites, you know, thousands of them everywhere. So when you're in the blanket, it's just, you know, the body is not affected by the 5G. And you can, you know, for me, I go to sleep in about a minute and I sleep all night. I wake up and I'm really rested because when your cells are protected and they're rejuvenated, restored while you sleep, then you wake up with energy. You know, I don't have to take naps or anything. You know, it's just you have energy, you feel good. Um, and I really think it's just being in the blanket all night long.
Aw. Well, I love mine. It's weighted too. So for those people who like that weighted blanket as well, I feel like it's dual purpose. Uh,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself at the conference. I hope you come back next year.
Yeah, it was really fun. Just, yeah, all the people there, just, I felt like we were so like-minded. And you know everybody just wanted to share, and it was really a great atmosphere. And it was by the third day you kind of feel like all the people around you, they're like part of your family. It's like, oh, I'm not going to see you tomorrow, you know.
We
But
are a big happy family.
yeah.
We usually have like the same vendors that come out every year
Yes, yes.
and a lot of the same speakers. Dell comes back every year. We usually find new like headline speakers. This next year, we're going to have Dr. Henry Ely, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
probably know who that is.
Yes, he has a wellness blanket.
Yes. We love Dr. Ely.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're just new dates are April 29th through May 1st.
Okay.
I hope you can make it.
Yes, that
But do
would
you have
be.
anything else to add before we?
Yeah, let me just share. I want to kind of share with you guys the sizes that we have because, I have people call and they just don't. I had talked with a woman yesterday and she just didn't know, what size her son needs, but we have six sizes. So we start with the pet blanket, which is a 24 by 36. And literally, when your cat or dog, and actually, I have a woman that has horses and she's using the smaller travel blanket over her horse. And because he's had a lot of anxiety, the pets just know to go to the blanket. I have a friend who has a dog that just cries and howls during storms. But when he got the wellness blanket, she put it on his bed. He doesn't cry anymore. He knows right where to go. He's calm. So that's our pet blanket. And then we have the next one is a crib. We just started making that one this year. It fits right underneath the fitted sheet on the crib. So you can lay your
Oh,
precious
wow.
one right on top of, that blanket. So that's great. And then we have a travel size. It's a 60 by 42, and it wraps from like your neck to your thighs. And I won't fly without it because there are like 20,000 5G satellites, up above your plane, and the plane's a tin can. But when you have that, blanket around you, plane side, I think I forgot to mention that the plane side goes next to the body. I've got one here I could show you, but the plain side always goes next to the body, and that the pretty side, I call it, is just a real fine stripe. It goes away from the body. So the energy reflecting materials are right under that plain side. And then the top and bottom of the blanket is organic, 100% organic cotton. So we make it with a really great quality organic material that has a high frequency. So the travel blanket's amazing for flying. And then when you get to your hotel, or like when I came out to San Diego, lay it down on the bed and you can sleep on top of it. You're not going to fully wrap in it, but it's still going to give you about 75% of the benefit. And the hotel rooms are not great, for 5G and that kind of thing. So then you can sleep, makes a huge difference, especially if you're going to be speaking like, Dr. Tenpenny, she loves to have her blanket because then she has energy the next day. So those are the three smaller ones. And then we have a standard size, a queen, and a king. And those are more for fully wrapping. They're also great. Like for my husband and I, we have a queen size bed. So the standard is a 60 by 84. It's perfect top to bottom, side to side on a queen bed. And then you can put your fitted sheet over it and then lay on top of it. And then we have our queen size wellness blanket in a nice organic duvet cover over us. So, if you've got two people, it's kind of nice. You can have one under, one over. But if it's just, one person, just lay it out on your bed, lay down on it, and then pull it over you like a sleeping bag. And that's amazing too. So those are the sizes. The
And
website,
then you offer a discount for, if
yes.
you go to Autism Health. You want to talk about?
Yes. Yes. So if you go to the website, it's thewellnessblanket.com. And then where the promo code is when you check out, put Autism Health and you get 10% off.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Thank you. We truly appreciate your support. And
Oh, yes.
we're
Excited to
we're
do that.
excited to continue our relationship with you
Yes.
and keep promoting what you do. And do you have anything else to add?
Oh, I'm just excited to be here today. And if anybody ever has any questions, please go to the website. There's a contact on there. Leave me a message. I have a lot of people that just want to talk about, what their circumstances and what blanket would work best for them and how to use it. And I always tell people make sure that you are hydrated because you are actually going through a detox when you're in the blanket. So the only side effect that I've really ever seen is a slight headache if you're, not hydrated. So you want to remember to drink water. And the other thing is every 8 weeks, you want to put your blanket out in the sun for about 15 minutes. The hydrogen from the sun recharges those energy reflecting materials so that, for fun, I call it an heirloom. The blanket will last on and on and on. You keep it dry, so that's why I keep it covered. And you
Mhm.
sun it every 8 weeks and it'll stay charged and it goes, you don't have to buy another one. It's kind of a one-time.
You have to take it out of the duvet cover to
You know, you
charge
can,
it.
you can, a lot of people will take it out of the duvet and wash the cover when they sun their blanket, but some people, they really don't want to. And I would just say leave it out maybe for like 40, 45 minutes. The sun will come through the cover as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking time out today, talking, and I will, get the video to everybody so they can reach out to you. If anybody has any questions, they can reach out to me, Tracy, TREY at Autism Health. And we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, Tracy.